Hey there, it's Elizabeth Mack with the Tallahassee Democrat, and you're watching another edition of Limelight Live. Today, we're at Black Dog Cafe right here on Lake Ella out on the patio. Joining me is Sarah Mack with the Sarah Mack Band, and we're going to talk a little bit about what they have going on. So tell me, when did it all get started and how?
Oh my goodness. We actually have been playing together for 10 years. And Claire and I were roommates in college, and we ended up going to church with Charlie. We thought, hey, the old guy plays guitar well. So we started jamming at Charlie's house a couple nights a week, all three of us. And then at that time I was already doing kind of independent stuff as, Sarah Mack. Mm-hmm. And I got hired by a coffee shop in town that doesn't even exist anymore, and they wanted me as a jazz trio. And I thought, okay, I don't know jazz, but I definitely have a trio. So we started playing together, or we played together at that gig, and the response was so overwhelmingly supportive and encouraging that we just decided we may as well try to keep doing this and see what happens.
Okay. So then how long did that go along before you guys realized, this is like really great, we're just going to take it to new limits?
It's a very slow evolution. I think even now, at that point in time, that was 2005. No, it might have been 2004 even. And even then, just playing a gig and having people show up was epic. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that if we had thought then that we would be at the place that we are now, that we would have ever believed it. But again, it's just this slow, continual, gradual growth and evolution. So it was always, we want to do this. And now it's just more of a reality.
Okay. And then I understand it's all original pieces. Are they all original that you wrote, or is it like a group effort?
Again, over the years, that's changed. When we first started playing together, I would bring a mostly completed song to the table, or Charlie would bring a mostly completed song to the table. Claire is a very, very good kind of song assessor, and she'll listen to it and break it apart and say, you need to cut this, or edit it this way. And so we had kind of distinct camps of the Sarah songs and Charlie songs, and now it's very, very rare that we write songs individually. I mean, we all still work individually and then kind of bring it to the table, and we kind of workshop them, and everybody puts it in, and so it definitely becomes a collaborative effort.
And what inspires the songs? I mean, I've listened to several, and I've heard you perform around Tallahassee a lot.
Yeah.
You've all got your start here in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And seen you perform pretty much a lot of the downtown festivals.
Yeah.
Even at Springtime here recently.
Yeah. I think they come from all kinds of places. Sometimes it's personal experience. Sometimes it's just storytelling. I mean, and we even have there's a song called I'm With You that's off of our first album. Mm-hmm. And the way that developed, it was kind of like this intellectual songwriting pursuit where we sat down and we said, okay, we want to take 3 chords and find a way to use 3 chords and still do something innovative in spite of the fact that there's not a lot of differentiation. And then lyrically, we want to create pictures that say I love you without saying I love you. So it was just a very
like a test yourself kind of.
Yeah, it really was. It was like a group exam. And then it became like wedding song. We got so many wedding gigs where we played that song, and in fact, we played one 2 weekends ago, and we're going to play one in 2 more weekends. And it's back in the rotation as a summer wedding song.
And I understand that you're not only a singer, not only a songwriter, but you're also a musician. Tell us how many instruments that you play.
Okay, well, playing instruments. I use that term loosely.
Okay.
I took piano lessons for 5 years as a kid, and I still have what I call a music reading disability. It's very, very difficult for me to look at sheet music and actually play it. I can pick through it.
Is it just piano? Because piano, it's like with the bass clef and treble clef, and you're
just
like playing both at the same time. I never got that concept either.
That's the only thing that I have any formal training in. So that's all I have to base it on. The guitar, I just kind of picked that up over time. Same with the banjo, the accordion, the harmonica, all of which I can play for specific purposes. I don't think I could sit down with real musicians and jam.
It's like, hardcore expert player.
We actually had this, it was so funny. So the first time that I ever pulled out the harmonica and I played it at a show, and Charlie said some big intro to, Sarah's going to play harmonica, that's going to be so great, and I bet you didn't know she could play harmonica. And my dad was in the very, very back of the venue, and he goes, she can't! And it was just like, everybody in the place burst out laughing, and I was like, well, that's a fair assessment.
But you still did well, though.
I still did it. You know, I think if you can't laugh at yourself and have fun, then, you know, it's not worth it.
That's true. That's true. And I understand that you travel. You don't just perform here in Tallahassee. You do travel. And I was told, well, no, I know that you have a big following in my hometown, Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me how that happened.
You know, we played in kind of the Tampa St. Pete area. I run them together, although I found out that people from Tampa and St. Pete definitely differentiate.
Yeah. You know, it's a nice little bond. It's like a marriage, but
Right.
we still, you know, it's very
Separate entities.
You have that side, and you know, we're on this side.
Yeah.
Just be happy with it. You know, we all still love each other.
We went down there and played for several years and played at lots of different venues. And then we found this one venue in St. Pete that's relatively new. It's a listening room, and it's on Central Avenue called the Hideaway Cafe.
Okay.
And it just kind of worked out that we got there and clicked with the audience there, and it just exploded. I think it's interesting. Like, if you go to a town, you can play a million different places and it not catch on. But if you hit the right venue with the right people that just want your sound and are ready for you, then it just kind of grows exponentially. And so the Hideaway has been very instrumental in kind of building our following. And from there, we got gigs at Skipper's, and those kind of continue to be our two places. Also, the public radio in Tampa, WMNF, has been really, really supportive. So kind of it's a trifecta of
I see.
of combining streams.
Okay, so then for those who haven't heard your music, can you explain what the genre, I guess, the type of music is? It's not, I wouldn't say it's, I'd say, even though you say you don't play jazz, it has a jazzy feel, depending on the song, actually.
Yeah.
So I guess, can you explain that?
Our tagline is jazzy, bluesy rock with a healthy dose of soul.
I'd say that.
And the easy thing about that is it kind of like nets everything together, and it helps you evade having to categorize yourself. Mm-hmm. I've heard lots of people say, "Oh, those bands are so pretentious; they won't give themselves a genre." You know, when we play Springtime Tallahassee, we're on the pop stage. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of online programs that we get into that categorize us as Americana. Mm-hmm. And I think it really just depends. Like, there's definitely a spectrum that we're inside of, but it's like a big Venn diagram.
It's very soulful. I'll give you soulful. Definitely.
Thank you. I'll take that.
And then you have 3-4 albums out?
Yeah, we have 3 full-length albums. We have one that came out in October, Single Revolution. It was our first fan-supported, without record label support. And that was a wonderful experiment. And I think that from here on out, we're kind of going to do grassroots, independent stuff.
Okay, cool.
Because I think there's just some power in having it completely supported by your fans. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of cool to give them some ownership and some ownership in this product.
Okay.
But we have another one that's a 4-song single that has Summertime on it by the Gershwin Brothers. And that's why we released that one, because there's such a response to our Summertime cover that we printed it.
That's a good song, though. I feel like it's hard to do that song wrong. If you do it wrong, it's just like, how could you do that?
Yeah.
And I understand you have a show actually coming up at the American Legion, which is next door.
Yeah, we do. 2 weeks, May 7th, we'll be at the American Legion Hall with another local band, Free Hugs.
Okay.
It's kind of all-star cast of musicians from Tallahassee. And we'll be there. Doors open at 8.
Okay.
The music starts at 8:30, and it should be a great time.
Awesome. So you can check them out May 7th at the American Legion, which is actually next door. Also going on this week, there's some other things, different plays. Let's see. Today, actually, Missy Raines and the New Hip will be at the Fifth Avenue Tap Room. It's a jazz-influenced bluegrass band. They're trying to do something different at the tap room these days. Mm-hmm. Thursday at the American Legion, which is, like I said, next door, there's a social going on from 7 to 9 p.m. Chaps, a musical comedy, will be at the Storefront Theater in Thomasville through May 1st. So if you don't catch it this weekend, you can still catch it some other time throughout until actually it's not May 1st. It's like next week.
Yeah, it's next week.
So yeah,
It's
you
pretty
don't have
soon.
long. So if you want, it's a short drive though. It's a short drive. Also, Food Truck Thursdays is something I actually checked out for the first time last week. It's really delicious. There's everything from the Cravings truck to Cuzzies to, man, there's about a good 4 or 5 ones. There's actually a Filipino one. I think it's like Pinoy Lansing, but it's really good to try. It's Thursdays. It's every Thursday over next to the Burger King. I think it starts around 7 p.m. Maybe it's 6 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. Let's see. Railroad Square is having their spring festival on Saturday. On Saturday, I believe. And the Big Bend Hospice is having a benefit. It's called Spring Fling 2011 Under the Spanish Moon. It's going to benefit the Big Bend Hospice. It will be at Tallahassee Nurseries on Thomasville Road from 7 to 10:30. And I want to give you, I guess, 2 more. My Big Fat Greek Euro Night at Holy Mother of God Greek Orthodox Church. I love going out to the Greek food festivals. I can only imagine this is obviously going to be just as tasty. Maybe get some baklava, buy a lot, take it home with you, enjoy it. And I was right. Saturdays is the Funky Flea Market Festival at Railroad Square from noon to 5, so you might want to check that out. And one more, because I love running for my running community. The 10th annual Tails and Trails 5K, 10K, and 1 mile fun run will be at Tom Brown Park. The registration starts at 7:30 a.m., but the run actually starts at 8:30, but you want to get there, and register and be pumped and ready to go. I know y'all going to do great and have a good time. And all the money goes to benefit the Animal Shelter Foundation. That's all I have. Remember, you can check us out anytime on Facebook and Twitter. That's all I got for you. See you next time. Bye.